Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Rebecca Homkes, and I'm a lecturer at the London Business School and faculty at Duke CE and advisor to BCGU. And I'd love to speak about something I am super passionate about, and that is what does it take to grow and perform through uncertainty? We've been speaking about uncertainty a lot over the past few years, from election uncertainty to climate uncertainty to AI uncertainty. But there's something I noticed about the word uncertainty several years ago. Whenever we say the word uncertainty, we tend to put a word before it that means it's going to be bad. We ask each other, how are we going to manage uncertainty? How are we going to overcome uncertainty or get through uncertainty? We almost always preface it with a word it's going to be negative. So let's start the conversation by reframing the definition of uncertainty. What is it? A series of future events which may or may not occur. Whether or not those events are good or bad depends on what we're trying to do and how we're set up. So that's our job as leaders. Figure out what we want to do and then get set up. But if we want to perform and grow through uncertainty, we have to acknowledge something, and that's that we can't predict the future. And I know that sounds silly, but sometimes in strategy processes with lots of scenarios and plans and data, we almost kid ourselves we can. Let's embrace the notion that we can't predict, but here's what we can do. We can build a capability of making great decisions, even though we can't make great predictions. In doing so, making these great decisions, even though we can't make great predictions, involves making a shift, a critical shift from planning to preparing. Planning is great, and we're not throwing it away. But when it comes to strategy, I want people in preparation mode, where we're going to move from making decisions based on facts to instead based on beliefs. Acknowledge variables and keep emerging as we grow and learn. So we need to set directions, not always precise destinations, but more critically, optimize for robustness, not just efficiency. But let's get a very clear punchline about uncertainty. Uncertainty is a great time to grow. Easy? Not necessarily, but a great time to grow. And one of the reasons it's such a great time to grow is it's a great time to learn. In periods of uncertainty, your customers, your consumers, your partners, and your employees, they will never be more honest about what they value the most, what they care about the most. Uncertainty is a great time to grow because it's a great time to learn. And here's another reason why it's great, is something hasn't changed. And all of the talk of new normal and everything's different and everything's changed, let's pause on a pretty critical point. Something hasn't changed. And that's the definition of what strategy is. Strategy was, is, and will always be about one very important and powerful thing, and that is value creation. Strategy is an articulation of how we create value. And what is value creation? Driving the biggest gap possible between two things. On one hand, our customers' and clients' willingness to pay for our products, services, and solutions. On the other hand, our total cost of getting it to them. So strategy is value creation, moving these two needles apart, and the essence of value creation hasn't changed. But how we think about growing and creating value through uncertainty has. We're going to move from linear thinking to loop thinking in a 3-mode loop I call survive, reset, thrive. Survive, stabilize when the market throws shocks at us. Reset or change as the situations change. Then prepare to be a thrive organization on the other end. Growth is a loop, not a line. And growing through uncertainty is about embracing this loop mentality. Let's look at the 3 modes. We've got to survive. We're going to get shocks. These shocks can be external, like a COVID or war or surprise election. They can be internal, like losing an investor or a customer. We've got to stabilize the organization, then move out of that into the reset phase. Reset means change, where we challenge the critical assumptions under our business and strategy and reset our top priorities, and then go back to the thrive mode, where we're growing and performing through uncertainty. Now, it is a loop, which means we're never going to stay in one for permanently. We will cycle through the loop, though, of course, we want to spend the longest we can and thrive. 2 critical things about the survive, reset, thrive loop. 1, all parts of the organization are very unlikely to go through it at the same time. It's more likely different functions or units or regions are going to be in different stages. And 2, your reset is the power move. It's easy to say, don't just survive, thrive. But without the reset, you won't move on and get to thrive. So I want to pause on that reset. What does it take to reset? But first, let's repeat. Reset means change. Change is hard for individuals and harder still for organizations. But reset is a powerful way to challenge all these critical assumptions in the business and make sure we're doing the right thing that matters for growth. And here's the 6 questions we ask ourselves as we're going through that loop. Ready? What is the situation and how's it going to change? And what is success? So where are we going to play? How are we going to win? What could stop us? And what should we do? And as you go through that reset process, you're going to ask and then answer these 6 critical questions with your team. What's the situation? How's it going to change? What are your core beliefs and how have they been challenged? What is success? And you need to set a destination or a direction. Where are you going to play? Who are your critical clients, value proposition, and go to market? How are you going to win? One of my favorite questions. What is your right to win? What do you have that others don't? And what can you do that others can't? And how can you build moats around your advantage? What could stop you? And then critically, what should you do? And after you've gone through those 6 reset questions, you've got your updated assumptions, you're going to leave with your key critical priorities for growth. And from there, move on to the thrive phase. And there's a very simple recipe for thrive. You need 3 things, and they're going to sound too simple when I say them. Strong balance sheets, strategic insights, then you've got to execute with agility and learning. The strong balance sheet that you brought through from the survive phase, strategic insights that you brought from the reset phase, then execute with agility and learning. Remember, organizations that learn faster, grow faster. That's the key and ultimate differentiator to getting to thrive. So let's look at all of these pieces together. Growing through uncertainty is challenging, but uncertainty is a great time to grow because it's a great time to learn. And it's going through these 3 modes of survive or stabilize, reset, and then thrive. But the essence of strategy hasn't changed. It's about moving these 2 critical levers of growth apart. And the reset questions are there. What's going on? And how's it going to change? What are those critical beliefs we have? And what is success? So where are we going to play? How are we going to win? What could stop us? And what should we do? And now I'm giving you a sneak peek at the thrive, what those few characteristics are that really differentiate those thrive companies. And it's an acronym I call BLAST. And it stands for beliefs about the world, learning, agility, shared context, and trust. If you put these pieces together, you've stabilized the business, you're willing and able to go through these resets, you can be a thrive organization. But I hope you spend some more time with the content article to understand more.